Good morning. So yesterday we had our Fruci Fit summer, you might not think it, Chennai event where we bring everyone together, Chippenham, Devizes, Marlborough, online in one place. So it's a summer event. It was outside on a farm, amazing views and lots of space. But obviously, as you can imagine, lots of concern about the weather. Do we have our dry and wet weather plan in place, which we did. But luckily, we didn't actually need the wet weather plan. We got very lucky. It was actually 15 minutes to the end, and the wind was coming on. A bit of rain was beginning to start. It actually held off, and I'm actually sunburned for the first time this year. There you go. And it's always those little moments where you're like, you're not expecting it. You're not expecting something. You think that one thing's going to happen, and the other thing can happen. And it's important to put this into perspective on a weight loss journey, on a fat loss journey. Like, often people will say, like, I can never stick to something, like I won't be able to do it because I've got a holiday on, etc. And I just got a message like this morning, which I shared on my story about, I've been away and I've just maintained my weight. Even with birthdays, I've maintained my weight. And that's massive. And this was posted in our wins part of our in our private group, and it got me thinking. The event, the online community that we have as well, back to a good reminder for us, for Fruci Fit, for anyone looking to achieve any habits right now, is that accountability is the one thing that stands out on all results. Like, when they do studies on every diet, one of the key factors, whether it's high carb, low carb, high fat, which is often missed out, often not talked about enough as it should be, is accountability and support. That support network, that accountability, where people checking in with you. And I've done some Q&As and seminars on nutrition and mental health from my nutrition background. It's like, let's talk about the types of foods that help with mental health. And of course, there's some links between them. But then one thing that keeps coming up is essentially behavior and positive reinforcement, the taking action and having that behavior of action reinforced being such a positive thing, regardless of what you did, almost to the extent where you could conclude that if I asked you now, okay, what are you having for lunch today? Take a picture and send me your lunch, just an example. That behavior is more likely to be positive, and then that behavior is more likely to be positively reinforced, even if it's not perfect. And even if you post something that isn't, like, quote unquote healthy, where you track something, you're accountable, you said, I did this because of this, you're reflecting, and taking time to reflect, taking time to communicate is, again, a very positive thing. And all of a sudden, this then has a good impact on how we feel impacts what we do. And all of a sudden, this spirals into results. We start to enjoy exercise. People there yesterday saying things like, I was so nervous about these events. Like, I don't like exercising outside. But I'm so glad I come. And I did it. And it's that moment there, which is so nice to see. And so powerful, and so a breakthrough of what, I always think about this, what other things could they now say yes to? Yes, often in our heads, more so than reality. And the key thing is, you take one thing, take action, make sure you've got people supporting you around there. Whether it's a friend, whether it's a coach, doesn't have to be Fruci Fit. Obviously, we work with certain people, and we work with women 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s. We work with their other halves as well, and our couples, personal training, morning Sue. And that support is massively important. It is what makes Fruci Fit, if I'm honest. So just something to think about today. Have you got that support and accountability in place? And if you've tried every diet under the sun, maybe that's something to look at in your goal right now. Because when you look at research that comes up time and time again, is that support in place? Is that accountability in place? And it's why so much research, in my opinion, is skewed. Because if they don't control the placebo, aka, one group did low carb and had counselling and had accountability and had a personal trainer, versus the other group just did a standard diet and got given a sheet of paper saying eat well and stay active. It's not just comparing the nutrition there. You're also comparing, you're comparing the counselling, the weight loss management in there. And that's why when they look at food diaries, I'm always a bit curious as to how many conclusions you can draw on this in nutrition. Like, these people who ate more of X had better mental health, but were they also getting counselling? Were they also having a personal trainer? Were they also X, Y, Z? They're enjoying exercise and they ate this food. Is it real association, or is it a byproduct, indirect, of something else? Always questions to consider, but take home, take action, get that support, get that accountability. And any questions, let me know. If you are looking for more support and accountability, we have our next 28-day kickstart starting this week and the week after. Flexible start dates. If you want more info on that, just comment with kickstart, and I'll see you soon.